Hey lovely ass sisters, it's your girl Obaa Yaa back with another video. Thank you for joining me here again, and if you're new here, hey girl, welcome to the family. In today's video I want to be talking about how to avoid high-growth fatigue. Yes, and if you don't know what high-growth fatigue is, if you watch this video you will know exactly what it is. So now, without any further ado, let's dive right into this video. Signs of high-growth fatigue include excessive frizzing. Your hair is not able to retain moisture and it feels very porous. Your hair feels very limp and gummy when it's wet, and you will notice that your hair stretches more than the usual. Typically, if we stretch our hair, it bounces right back because there is a balance between the protein and the moisture. But if you stretch your hair and your hair keeps stretching and stretching and stretching, and it seems as if your hair is stretching to the extent that it looks like it's straight and it doesn't bounce back, then that is a sign that you are experiencing high-growth fatigue. If your kinks and your curls are not able to curl and kink like they used to, and your hair isn't able to hold styles, that is also a sign that you might be experiencing high-growth fatigue. And in severe cases, you might experience excessive breakage. It's like anytime you touch your hair will just be breaking off. You'll find tiny bits and pieces of hair everywhere. If you want to avoid high-growth fatigue, it is very important that you keep your hair balanced. You have to find the protein-moisture balance. Our hair needs protein just as much as it needs moisture. You can't have one without the other. Protein is the structure of the hair. Protein is what keeps the hair strong and intact. When you look at a house, protein is like the pillars in the house, the beams in the house. It's what keeps the structure of the house in place, okay? If you don't have that structure in your house will collapse. Protein is the building block of our natural hair, of our hair, not just natural hair, of hair in general. In this case, our hair is made up of keratin and amino acids and other kinds of acids and all that. A girl I'm not like that deep into hair chemistry and all that. I just know a little bit, okay? So you can correct me if I'm wrong. But all I'm saying is that our hair is made up of protein, and therefore our hair needs protein just as much as it needs moisture. So we have to find that balance. In order to avoid high-growth fatigue, you need to make sure that you are doing regular protein treatment. I know for ladies like low porosity, such as myself, we tend to be protein sensitive because our hair naturally has more protein compared to other types of hair like high porosity or medium porosity. So some low porosity girls find that their hair is sensitive to protein, but that doesn't mean that we don't need protein at all. We still need protein. We might not need it as regularly as someone with high porosity or medium porosity hair does, but we still need protein. And in order to know when you need the protein, you have to be observant. That is where you need to pay attention to your hair and watch your hair and observe your hair. It's good to know your hair, but it's also equally important to observe your hair. Observe the things that you're doing, and then you will know what your hair needs. Because if you're not watching, if you're not paying attention to the signs, how would you know that it's now time for you to put in protein, or it's almost getting close? The same thing happens when you have protein overload, and the same thing happens when you high-growth fatigue. So you have to be very sensitive and pay attention, because there are slight differences in the way your hair will react depending on what you are suffering from. To do regular deep conditioning treatment and protein treatment, not neglecting one. Just because you're a certain porosity doesn't negate the fact that you still need protein. Choose your proteins wisely, okay? Not everybody's hair like all kinds of protein. Some people's hair are more sensitive to certain protein versus other kinds of protein. And that I can't tell. I can't tell you that your hair needs more of keratin or hydrolyzed wheat protein or silk protein or protein in egg or all these kind of things. I can tell you that you have to observe. That is where it's important to observe your hair, pay attention to it, and read the ingredients in the kind of protein or deep conditioning that you use, because you'll find that some deep conditioners do contain a little bit of protein. They might not be higher up on the ingredients list, they might be lower on the ingredients list, but they are still present in the deep conditioner. And for some people's hair, that's enough. They don't need extra protein apart from what is in their deep conditioner. What you need to note when using egg as a protein treatment is that the molecular structure of the protein in egg is larger compared to the one in rice water. So it's easier for the protein in rice water to penetrate versus the one in egg. I found that back in the day when I was using egg as a protein treatment, then my hair felt extremely hard. Later on, I learned that the molecule structure in animal protein is larger compared to the one in vegetables, for instance. It's harder for our hair to absorb the protein in egg than protein in rice water, for instance, or silk protein or hydrolyzed wheat protein. Those ones have smaller molecules and it's easier for it to penetrate into the hair shaft and do what it's supposed to do. If you're interested in a video of me doing my protein treatment, you can leave it in a comment down below, and whenever I'm doing my protein treatment, I'll shoot a video showing you exactly how I mix my hydrolyzed wheat protein into my deep conditioner to have everything in one. So it's just a one-step deep conditioning protein treatment that I do. So that is what I use, hydrolyzed wheat protein. I just have to use a little bit, but if I overdo it, girl, if I overdo the hydrolyzed wheat protein, my hair is gonna feel hard as well, because like I said, I'm low porosity and my hair is sensitive to protein, so I have to be mindful and be cautious with the amount that I use in my hair. Therefore, it is very important to find the right balance between moisture and protein. The right balance is having the right deep conditioner that works for your hair and having the right protein that works for your hair. Depending on how far your hair is in this hydro fatigueness, you would have to do multiple protein treatments in order to get your hair back in a state where you have a balance between the amount of protein and the amount of moisture in your hair. So guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you found it informative and helpful, and if you liked it, don't forget to give it a like, to subscribe if you haven't already, and also to turn on the notification bell so that you are notified when my next video goes up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all so much, so very much. See you again in my next video. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay safe. It is your girl, Obaa Yaa, Obaa Yaa, Bye.